Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. This is the last meetup of the year, the last Aotearoa Azure meetup. For you guys, we do this every month, except for December and January. We do it normally on the third Thursday of the month. Normally, it is on during the lunch break. Sometimes we might change that in the future. We have a lot of plans to like add some more fun activities, and we thought it's a good idea to actually end up the year with a meetup to talk about certification. We thought it's very like a very aptly topic because a lot of people are actually in the market looking for roles, and also you might have some time during the break to catch up on some reading or like explore some certifications. And Microsoft Azure certification, like in general, is very in demand. We'll talk about the details for it, of course, with the lineup. So I'm Amit, one of the Azure MVPs. I'm joined with my fellow MVPs. Luke is online. He's joining us from Hamilton. We've got Marcel and Deepak, of course, two fellow MVPs. Each will talk about a specific topic, specific angle about Microsoft Azure certifications. Sweet. So this is our agenda for today. The Aotearoa Azure meetup is run by two people, myself and Rory. Rory is on vacation, I believe, in Japan, so good for him. And of course, thank you so much. I can't thank the awesome people, Nick, DSR, and Shemaine, Microsoft host. They have been hosting us all over the year. They have been behind the scenes, organizing everything, making all of this happen. So thank you so much, and thank you, Dan. Welcome. If you would like to be our next speaker, if you want to be here on the stage, if you've got an interesting topic, if you've got some like a war story about a technology that you deployed and then learned a lot from it, this is the QR code. You could scan it and you'll get a Microsoft form. If you fill it up, me or Rory will actually pick it up and we'll be in touch. And yeah, so without further ado, we'll jump into the first speaker of today, and yeah, that will be me. Just double checking. Sweet. Hopefully, technology works. Sweet. Yeah. So again, a little bit about me. Thank you for being with us. So I'm a Microsoft Azure MVP in the Azure networking category. I'm a principal consultant at a company called Lab3, again, Microsoft partner, and I have 15 years of experience in both networking and cloud. I write on, I've got my own blog, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it. Yeah, so today I'll be talking about, like, I thought that it's a very good introduction to actually give you a run through quickly through all of Microsoft available certifications, just a high level on what are the domains for Microsoft certifications and what are the major certs in each domain. So this will help you when my colleagues come in and talk about specific Microsoft certification. You'll get an idea of the landscape of certifications. So, of course, if you're just starting to learn Microsoft technology, the first certificate that I recommend for anyone is the Microsoft Azure AZ900. It's the Microsoft Fundamentals. So when I first jumped in, when I first jumped into the world of cloud, when I wanted to learn about Microsoft technology, even though it says like it is just the fundamentals and it is just targeted for senior level type of stuff, but it actually opens a lot of, like, it's almost like a gateway to Microsoft Azure. It talks about all the technology on Microsoft Azure, all about like the networking, the storage, the compute. It talks about like concept of Azure regions and Azure zones. It talks about how, like, it helps you in a very concise way wrap your head around Microsoft Azure world. And you'll find that I'll talk about another certificate later on. Well, there is the Microsoft Azure Administrator, which is almost like a cloud engineer. There's the Microsoft Azure Solution Architect for cloud architects. What I found personally, the knowledge that I gained from the Azure AZ900 is still valuable, even going into the hands-on, going into the details of creating architecture and building solution. Because of the knowledge that I gained out of this, it is still valuable. So the next one is, this one is, those two certification is more catered for developers. So you've got the AZ204, which is the Microsoft Azure Developer Certificate, and we've got the Power Platform 900. And by the way, you will find a trend in all of Microsoft numbering. So like any 900 type of certificate, it is always fundamentals for that domain. So for example, Power Platform, you've got the 900 for the Azure fundamentals. It's also 900. You'll see, I'll talk about the AI 900 again for fundamentals of AI solutions on Microsoft. And then you'll find the numbers is actually, the higher the number, the more difficult or the more in-depth the certificate. So like there are like 200 certificates, even the 204 for the developer, it says it's associate, but it's very intense. We've got our own developer here, Marcel, talk about it. But yeah, there's the 300 level. There's Microsoft Security Engineer, Azure AZ500. So yeah, these numbers are also are intentional. Yeah, and again, if you are into learning more about like if you are want to become a data scientist, if you want to learn more about data, if you want to, if you are interested in those kind of solutions, the DP900, again, it's a fundamental. It helps you understand what is the data solution that Microsoft Azure provide. How do you jump into? And I really recommend not skipping the line. I know that it is very tempting. So what I did personally is that I went for the AZ900, I went for the Azure Administrator, and then I went for the Azure Networking just because I come from a networking world and I've got a lot of experience with that. And then finally, I went for the Azure Solution Architect. And with that, it gave me a lot of confidence when I went for the solution architect because I've got all the fundamentals. The solution architect was just trying to help me figure out how to put it all into an end-to-end solution. So start with those. It gives you a lot of confidence because it helps you wrap your mind around that specific domain. So whether it's like if you want to become a data engineer, an AI, a developer, start with the fundamentals one before jumping into the more in-depth one. Gives you a confidence, but also gives you a lot of the prerequisite for you to actually dive deeper. And of course, I'm going so fast here because of for the sake of time, but also I'll give you some resources at the end and something we could do. Yeah, again, this is all about the AI engineer, the AI 900. This one again. What I would say, this is really fascinating, and it's a must for anyone living in this generative AI world. What the AI 900 it has got more rigor than just actually the generative AI world, and then just like using ChatGPT and those kind of solutions. This one actually helps you understand how do you tackle, like, for example, you've got a document and then you want to understand, get some knowledge from that document. You've got you want to build, like, say, I'm going through it now and I'm learning. You want to, like, you've got like a retail business and you want to build a chatbot where people jump in and then want to understand a little bit about your business. So how do you do that? How do you understand what is the client asking? How do you know the intention? How do you communicate that back to the pipeline, understanding, like, say someone says, this shirt is really good. Can I have a different color, or do you have a different size? It's an easy question, but there's a lot of intelligence behind the scenes. So this one helps you put your foot on the right path and learning how to implement AI solutions. And yeah, again, for security, we've got the security engineer. Again, we've got our own security MVP here that will talk more about it. But yet again, that's another domain. We've got, as you could see here, there is the AI, there's the data, there's the security, there is the Azure administrator or cloud engineer, which is this one exactly. I'll skip ahead to the resources. And what I found very interesting is that Microsoft actually has built, made a lot of useful resources that a lot of people are actually surprisingly not aware of. So there is, for example, and I'll open this one in a second, there is a page on Microsoft Learn that is called the career path. When you open that page, and I'll open it in a second, you'll find all sort of career path that you could pick one of those. And then when you click on it, you will end up with all sort of more details, like these are the proper learning material, and these are the certifications. Microsoft Learn in general is organized in a packaged way. So there's a lot of, like, for example, say you want to learn infrastructure as code, whether it's Azure Bicep, or like you want to learn something about DevOps. There's a lot of set training with a progressive progressive material built on top of each other. That's all being organized within like career path or learning. And then the other very interesting thing is that there is even sometimes, if you click on the right link and you find it, you could even get access to a free, like Microsoft will give you like free access to Azure for like 2 hours or like an hour to actually deploy some resources. And then once that is done, it will be deleted. One thing I would say about this one is that it doesn't work all the time because of load. So if there's a lot of load on a specific region, you not get access to this one, or like if it is, what is the word? Sometimes it works, but I would say 90% of the time it actually worked for me. And again, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So hopefully this is gonna work. Sweet. Yeah, so this is, of course, I'll share all these resources at the end of the session. So in here, you could actually see all the career path that you might pick. So if you want to be a data scientist, an engineer, a developer, DevOps engineer, all sort of path that you could possibly think of, all available here. Say, for example, let's click on like a developer one. So when you click on it, that'll give you even more resources. So I'll start immediately to say, like, these are learning paths for you. You want to learn C#, you want, yeah, there's a lot more collection of all sorts of material that you could actually jump into and learn. So, unfortunately, this one connection. Very, yeah, so let's click on this one maybe. Yeah, I'm not going to steal the thunder from you, Marcel, but anyway, these are a lot of resources. That's the first one. The second one in here, that's all of the Microsoft Learn. This one is the exercise. So yeah, so this is the whole library. This literally is the whole library. Every single thing in here, 4,732 modules of training that is available for you to go through all the resources that you would like. And you would say like, hey, for example, I want to be Microsoft administrator for a cloud engineer, 1,500 topics. And you could dive deeper. Like I want a beginner type of material. I want advanced. I want a learning path. I don't want you just to give me, like if you click on, for example, beginner, and then say, I want to be a learning path instead of just some material. So this one would actually give you packaged material about administrator, beginner in a learning path. The other secret in here, which is this one. So what this one is, and I'll show you how to reach this one. A lot of the resources that Microsoft Learn provide, if it starts with exercise, that's fun, because this is actually going to give you access to a Microsoft Azure resources for a limited time. So you could just click on like sign in to activate your sandbox. It's going to ask you to log in with and you could set up a Microsoft Azure portal username and password. It's for free. It's going to give you even $300 credit. Just be mindful of resources that you create, not to leave there, because then you'll be charged. And you, that's very important, yeah. But yeah, what's going to happen here is that as soon as you signed in, you're going to be given access to a Microsoft Azure tenancy for 1 hour that will help you. Say, for example, you want to deploy a virtual machine, or you want to do some like a developer type of material. You could access it, you could work on it, and you don't even have to worry. After an hour, it's going to be automatically deleted. You're not going to be charged at all. That's a lot of people don't know about it, but every single module that you'll find an exercise label with it, you'll get free access to Microsoft Azure. And again, it depends on how the load of it. The one last thing I'll leave you here before I jump is every single certification. If you search on Google or Bing, if you search on oops. If you search on Google and you just write, say, for example, Microsoft Azure Administrator Certificate, the first link that you'll open up is this page, correct? What I found really useful is that it gives you immediately all the resources that you'll need for that specific certificate. You don't even, like, if you're not really sure what to do, when it comes to what is the word? If you're not really sure which certificate you want to pick, then just search for that specific certification, and you'll find all the source material, all organized for you already, and 100% of the time contains exercise access. So yeah, with all of that done, thanks so much, guys, and let's jump into the next MVP.